Hey Roses, so I have another GYN appointment regarding these fibroids in less than a half an hour, so I am on my way. The nerves is a little raw, but I know I'm doing what I need to do for me and to get healthier, and yeah, so on my way.
So now I'm gonna end this thing now. And don't you make it harder than it is. Just stop. Don't ask if we can go back. You know that it's too late. I promise not to someone else. Don't even try to go there. Just leave it to its fate. You'll have to find it somewhere else. Don't ask if we can go back. You know that it's too late. I promise not to someone else. Don't even try to go there. Don't even try to go there. Yeah, it was a big mistake, thinking I would wait. You never took the time, and now it's too late. I hate to feel ignored.
Okay, I'm here with how many more minutes to spare? Let me see, where's oh. One suggestion I would have for anyone dealing with fibroids, beginning, their doctor appointments and everything behind them, to go through all the options and everything, or if you already know what you're going to do and it's going to take some surgical intervention, I would say have as much support as you can, even for those like me who's pretty much used to doing everything themselves. So anyway, let me just tell y'all, I've already said a little bit about this already. Didn't get much of a response, and then now in the last 2 weeks I've been talking about it more. I'm finding out that fibroids is ravishing all kind of families, particularly black families, and a lot of the black families we just don't talk about it. We don't talk about stuff. Like, I'm sitting up here talking about things, and now folks are starting to open up. It's like, why ain't we been talking about this? Because once you know fibroids running your family is something you should be bringing up at every pap smear. It should be in your medical history, period. But if you don't know, how can you put it there? So part of me doing this is to tell y'all, quit being shy about it. Quit being, act like this is embarrassing. We all know, especially if you've had them, kids and everything. You've had kids, so everybody know you've been had sex. So you can, since you've been past that point, the other stuff you are experiencing, especially as you get older. And if you're over 40, your body might be starting to go through some premenopausal changes. You might be more emotional than you have ever been in life, and you got all kinds of things going on, and then throw in some fibroids, which is messing with all that. Whether they are painful or not painful, they all need to be discussed the same. I didn't find out I had my first one until I was pregnant with my second child. And they're like, oh, did you know you had a fibroid? News to me. Because all these years, basically, over 27 years, I thought I had, cysts. Reoccurring cysts is what they call it way, way back. Should have dug deeper into, or made your doctor dig deeper into. And if they didn't, move on to another doctor. There's so much regarding women's reproductive health that we need to pay attention to. And also, if you're anything like me, you feel every little change of your body, pay attention to those changes, because so much more makes sense and then so much more doesn't make sense. But you just need to pay attention and not just wave it off. Anyway, let me go ahead and get on in here and get checked in. Well, maybe not. It's 9:47. Y'all, I ain't trying to walk in there till like 5 minutes before. Got talk to you, because many of us don't talk. And that's what I'm noticing with this situation with fibroids. So many just keep it to ourselves, don't talk about it, maybe embarrassed. You know, some people have an extreme amount of bleeding. Some people have, you know, they're super anemic. I've been anemic pretty much all my life. It's something I've just got used to hearing. But when it goes to another level, when many different changes with our body overlap one another. So here I got to the point where, you know, I'm holding on to walls because I'm dizzy and stuff. But, you know, yet this happened so much through my life. I'm like, okay, let's push past this. But when you get like unsteady on your feet, you're like, what is going on? And then you get super nervous with, you know, driving, and then you have pain behind it. You're like, okay, look, these little pants I got, I don't want to wear these things. I don't know. I don't want to wear that. That's uncomfortable. And you associate it with what you've always been told, you know, ovaries, but, you know, sometimes they see something, sometimes they don't. I've had irregular periods for a long time. And they got okay, more regular than irregular. I've been on birth control pill super earlier in my adult life, and then the Mirena had, which is the IUD, had that removed, then got the Essure procedure done, which basically blocks off your ovaries, I believe, fallopian tubes, something like that, blocks them off. Had that done. That's been about maybe 10 years ago. And so you think about all that stuff, and then I go in and I have the ultrasound done on my ovaries, and then they have to, you know, go into the, you know, vaginal cavity to see what they can see. And then you find out they can't even see your ovaries at all. It's like, well, what's going on behind there? So anyway, let me stop talking. Let me go ahead and get on in here. Gained a pound, but blood pressure was all right, and oxygen and pulse was at 100. Hey. Okay, appointment is done. The surgeon scheduler is looking at the schedule of my doctor, who's also one of the surgeons, along with another surgeon, because they do it together. So it'll be two surgeons. So the schedule is looking at both the schedules to see when they're both available, and will be calling me with a date. According to my doctor, she has a whole bunch of hysterectomies she's doing already this month, so She's letting me know that the surgery will probably take place in January 2022. And yeah. Another thing I just thought about that my doctor mentioned in today's appointment, she says that, you know, there's a lot of females that come in who feel like, you know, prior to, you know, finally get listened to, they were not listened to. They were just like brushed off when they brought up that something might be wrong, or, you know, yeah, they just had a feeling like no one was really taking them seriously. And that's in the medical, you know, people within the medical field making them feel like, you know, maybe it's not as much, or just not bringing the attention to those patients' concerns the way they should have. And you know, I get that. You know, a lot of us, you know, may not have the best doctors, may not have the best of insurance, may be worried about the cost, just the general appointment itself. Maybe scared, nervous, all kind of things. I think there's all kind of things that go into that. But to feel like, you know, you go into the doctor and feel like you're getting brushed off and all that, not cool. Thank goodness my experience wasn't like that, because, you know, I've moved on with a lot of things just for, you know, feeling like I'm getting brushed off. I ain't the one, you know, because if you ain't gonna take my always when I'm recording, why do I always gotta be some background noise? But anyway, you know, if you're not concerned about my health, you know, if you are not, if I'm taking the time to go into this visit and you ain't paying me no attention, that's a problem. You know, because I might have a bill regarding this, and you're supposed to be professional. I expect the professional to be professional. So, yeah, I'm glad she brought that up. You know, I'm sure a lot of things come up in her conversations with different patients, but I thought that was, you know, pretty cool that she brought that up. And to tell me, you know, I'm doing the right thing by, you know, seeing about my health. I'm doing what's right. So anyway, so I'm back home. My doctor did tell me she has quite a bit of hysterectomies happening this month due to a lot of women having some of the same issues that I'm having right now. I kind of wish I had scheduled this already so I can get this done before the year is out, but it's looking like January 2022 will be it for me. I also talked about, because there was one YouTube video I saw where the lady who had her surgery also had the E-shirt put in some years back. That was the only one out of all my research she's had that done. I have an E-shirt. Now, if you know anything about E-shirts, they no longer put them in. They last for about 5 years and then stop because they cause women a lot of pain. So that could possibly be adding into the amount of pain I am under, because yeah, I had an E-shirt done and mine was done maybe 10 years ago. So she did let me know that if I want them removed, I can have that done along with my hysterectomy that I'm having done. She won't know really, you know, what everything's looking like until she gets in there, because we don't know how many other fibroids I have. And she did let me know that most likely there are more. And what I saw from the research that I've been doing, most people who have been diagnosed with a certain amount of fibroids, they have their surgery and they find way more. So I want them all. I want them all gone. They're sitting up there living rent-free in my body. They got to go. Okay? They got to go. So, yeah, so I'll just be waiting for the phone call from the surgeon scheduler. She did let me know that because there are 2 surgeons instead of 1, because there's always one along with the other. That's their practice. They both have to be available at the same time, and yeah, so that's part of the weight. So she'll let me know. And yeah, because of my age, I'm 46. I've already had my 2 kids. You know, I've had issues going on a span of 20 plus years. There's a lot of different factors. That is why the best option she suggests for me is a hysterectomy over a myomectomy. And she also thanked me for saying how I'm sharing this and how, you know, starting that conversation will hopefully get more women who are not really taking care of their reproductive health to go in there and get checked. You know, get those pap smears, get those biopsies if you need to have those biopsies done. I mean, I've had 2 kids. I've had abnormal periods. I've had abnormal pap smears. I've had biopsies. Let's see, I've had these I've been told way back in the day I had reoccurring cysts on my ovaries. I've had ultrasounds. I've had a lot. I don't play when it comes to that area, you know, and I'm very in tune with my body. So anytime there's a new change, I know something ain't all the way right. And I know that, you know, something needs to be checked out. So, you know, along with that, with chronic back pain and everything, because my fibroids and one of them in particular is so big, and because it may have grown since 4 months ago when I had my initial appointment, and no telling what else is back there, it is putting a lot of weight on my bladder. I mean, if I thought I already was peeing enough, honey, I can pee, walk out the bathroom, think about peeing again, and have to pee again. That's how it's just crazy. So, you know, that with the heaviness and pain and all, I'm just tired of being uncomfortable and in pain all the time. I'm just, you know, I'm 46. I'm tired. I've spent most of my life in pain in some way, and I'm just tired, you know, because it messes with your quality of life. It just does. It messes with your mental health. So the more we start talking about this, y'all, the more other women will know they're not by themselves. They're not just, their mind ain't just playing tricks on them. They know, you know, you're able to help comfort other women who are going through similar situations, or just, you know, just now learn that they had fibroids, and not to just, okay, you have fibroids and not ever think about it again. You need to, you know, stay on top of that. You notice any changes, you need to go back into your doctor, because look, you know, I was told the first time I had a fibroid 13 years ago, basically, a little over 13 years ago, when I was pregnant with my son. And luckily the fibroid, I'm not sure exactly where it was located, if it was a pedunculated one where it's like a little stalk that's grown from my uterus and it's just hanging there from that stalk, or if it was in the lining of my uterus, or if it was in there with my son. Either way, I did have a lot of ultrasounds, and thankfully it did not grow along with my son growing. You know, I had my son regularly, you know, or should I say vaginally, and I had no issues. I didn't really think about it. After that, I'm like, all I was thinking about is, look, I ain't having no more kids. That's it. It's enough that my kids are 14 years apart. I ain't having no more. I had the 2 that I always wanted. I had the 2 that I prayed for, and I got it. So now it's time to close up shop. So that's why I got the e-sure. Partly got it because I didn't want to have to go through an additional surgery to get my tubes tied, because I did not have them tied after I had my second son. So that is why I got the e-sure. But just to learn, the more I look into it, you don't hear nothing about the e-sure, and then sometimes when you say it, people are like, huh? Because they didn't last. Let's see. Now I see why. So we're gonna, you know, talk about things in more detail. She did say that, you know, within the next month or so, I'll probably have another appointment. And we'll go about, you know, talk about things in even more detail and go from there. So anyway, I'm glad I had my appointment. eases my mind on some things. I got her opinion on some things. You know, we did talk about how African American women are just basically pretty much set up for these dang fibroids. We get them more than any other women, and to start talking about it in our families and not sweep everything underneath the carpet would be a good thing to do. So yeah, so that's the end of talking about this for now. After my appointment, I went to pee, and I gotta pee again. So I will talk to you later, roses. Bye.